Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of City Skylines. We are playing in Prospect Valley. In the last episode, we went and did a few bits and pieces with regards to the bus network. Hopefully that will allow us to grow a little bit more. We seem to be having a bit of a demand for commercial. And so I thought that's a good kind of segue, if you will, into creating a little bit of a downtown inner city area. Now, this will probably not be the ultimate inner city area, but I think as time goes by, the inner city will slowly move towards the river over here. And that's I think fairly natural for many cities. It starts the inner city starts off at some place. And then as time goes by and technology improves and higher density comes in, larger and larger buildings gets built to the side of it. And so it slowly moves across something like that. But for the time being, what we're going to do is we're going to start working on an inner city next to our railway station over here. And again, one of those things that tends to happen over time is with a lot of these railway lines in the future at some point when there's critical mass and it makes sense from a cost perspective, they go and sink the railway line. So you get sunken railway lines and metros and stuff like that with sunken stations, and then the city kind of extends beyond that. And that's maybe something that we'll look at in the future at some point. So let's look at how this is going to work. In terms of the street typology, we're going to go slightly more high density, but I think we're going to maintain a similar smaller street. And maybe what we do is we work on one of these guys. Yeah, let's do a little something like this. So, of course, what we're going to need to do is we're probably going to tie in at this intersection over here. Yeah, I think that's going to be sensible to tie in at this intersection. And then we'll kind of move it over this way. So let's just get all of our bits and pieces sorted out over here. Okay, we are going to want to stay on the ground, and we're going to use that tool. And now let's see. So let's start it off straight. Actually, let's start it. Let's actually start it off straight. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Maybe just something like that is going to be pretty good. Probably need to make a little bit of a move at some point. Just change that around. Now we're going to twist it towards the railway line. So let's straighten it up a little bit over here. And then we'll go back into something like that. Yeah, I think that's gonna be good. And what we'll do is we'll run it pretty straight over here. So let's straighten it up a little bit. And we'll run it up to, say, that piece over there. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and flip this around so that at the very least we have a more appropriate view of things here. We're going to need to make a few changes over here at some point also. Now, this is what we've got, and I'm kind of wondering whether that is in fact the right thing to do. Maybe what we should be doing is, yeah, let's bring off another road somewhere over here. Let's try and do that. So if we do something like this, it's just going to be like a little section here, unless we want to do a bit of a park type situation. Maybe that's the right thing to do as well. Let's actually tie it off to the other side. Let's keep this piece open here. Now let's run a little bit of a road that way. So it's a very similar look than we had on the other side, actually. Very similar look. And we'll have a look at not making this too dense, by the way. So we're going to move that in there. So if we use that as a starting, nope. It's amazing how, what is this? Why am I underground? Am I underground? Let's just go page up. There we go. I don't know what happened there. Now, let's try that one more time. Something like this. Yeah, I think that's about right. Now, I want to make it straight for that first section. And then what we'll do is we'll again curve it to meet the needs of our layout over here. Now, what I would like to do is just make sure we try and keep that. There we go. That's the one. Want to make sure we try and keep it fairly parallel. So we'll go ahead and run this one over there. Similarly, I think from this way onwards, what we'll do is we'll just make sure that this is a smaller road. There we go. Now, we're probably going to extend this one through here. So let's do that for the time being. Let's, okay, we'll do that. Yeah, having it slightly off center is about the right thing to do, I think. And then the idea is to somehow tie this in. And the question is, do we? I think we do that. I think what we do is we twist this this road here. So let's trim that one back. It's a boulevard style road. I'm going to trim it back a little more. I know that's kind of wasn't really the point. If we do up to about there, and now I'm going to start twisting it back to this way. There we go. Let's go find our bus road. It's just this one over here. Yeah. Something like this. There we go. And we'll just tie it in straight over there. There we go. So now we've got that direct connection through here. At some point, we'll have to make some changes over here. But I think I like this for the time being. This intersection could be pretty close to that one. I'm going to start it off with as close as it is at the moment. And at some point, we might end up doing some great separations over here. But I think we're quite a bit away from doing something like that. So there we go. That will be kind of as the starting point for our. Let's continue that. I think this is not a bad way of doing it. So let's go up to about here. I do like the interesting road layouts. Let's do this one, this tool instead. And if we do this, should be able to tie it in at quite the right kind of angle over there. There we go. So something like that. And now what we can do is we can, of course, try and do a couple more of these guys. So something like that might be a little far away. Yes, that's the right one. We'll do that one. And this one might be a little far away yet again. It's a little close. There's the one. That's the one. About a three block. Yeah, that's about a 3 block all the time there. Now, what we can do, because it's getting a little tight now, we'll have to maybe run, let's run it like this. And then we'll find the appropriate spot over that way and we'll run something like that as well. Okay, yeah, that's okay. And I'm thinking we need to turn that and tie it in. It's a bit of a road layout episode, maybe. I tend to do a lot of road layout style episodes. I know. It's what I do. It's what I enjoy. Okay, and now what we want to do is we would like to run something like this. There we go. That's about right. I think that's going to be... So I like having a little bit more interesting... Let's do that and then tie in. Yeah, that's fine. And if we do a very similar thing over here, let's go. No, I hate it when it kind of snaps to something at the end. And I know I can turn snapping off, but most of the time I do want it to snap. Try that again. Just need to use the straight tool instead, actually. Now, can we... What I'm trying to do is have it neat and symmetrical well, not symmetrical, but what I'm trying to do is have it as neat as possible with like straight lines and things like that without becoming a grid. That's really what I'm trying to achieve here. So if we do that, and now the question is, do I leave? I think I have to leave that. You know what? What we could do is we could just twist this one in at the end there. Now, because these are kind of city block kind of things, I think we probably need to just make sure that we connect straight through. So these can be kind of straight lines through here up to the station over here. So that's just kind of the start of our inner city area, and I think a very similar situation on the other side. Now, what do we want? Oh, there's a lot of demand for residential, so I'm assuming all of our low density residential has started to pick up. Now, but what I'm keen on doing first things first is making sure that we've got some of this going on. But before we do that, I do want to make sure that we've got a little path connection, a little pedestrian bridge, if you will, to the other side. So let's use something like, what are we using? This kind of university style path. And of course, what we'll want to do is raise that up a level. Well, alternatively, yeah, it is. We could raise it. Alternatively, we can go under, do a bit of an underpass. That's not too bad. Maybe. Yeah, let's do an underpass. Let's do an underpass, and we'll start it off from over here. So if we do, actually, let's we'll probably need to go. Now, if we do it over there, why does it not want to work? It is an underpass, right? Oh, hang on. There we go. Do. Come on. 9 down. It doesn't want to do the down? What's that? That is interesting. Why does that not want to work? So that wants to go down. This, okay, there we go. Now let's let's try this again. So on ground -9. Actually, -6 is about right, actually, isn't it? Let's do that. Try -6 over here. Then we go over to tunnel, and then it doesn't want to do the -6 again. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? Let's do this. Let's go -6. We switch on anarchy. And what I'm thinking is we need to do that kind of thing. So if we do this, I'm not sure this will work though. I hate that it snaps this way. Let's turn off snapping and see if that works. If we turn off snapping, yes, we're going to end up where we want to go. If we do that then, right? That's kind of the plan. And now all I need to do is make sure that we go take this rail. Where's the rail? The rail over here. Grab the rail and we say, guys, this now needs to be a bit of a bridge upgrade. So let's just, but it's such a big section. Okay, hang on. What we'll do is we'll add a node. So I'm happy to add a node over there. And let's just have a look at where our nodes are on this side. Let's get rid of that node. And I'm happy to add one over here and add another node over there. Now, with that in mind, we should now be able to actually do the upgrades. There we go, and make them look awesome. Now, as a pedestrian underpass, is that... Can't quite see in there though. Okay, well, anyway, what we need to do is bring up the rest of this little pathway. If we go there, That does not look right to me. We'll have to have a look at how we do that. And a similar thing, this one is going to be challenging though, because we'll have to kind of tie it in over there. Okay, I think that's fine, but it does kind of show that we'll need to... oh, we don't have a... Whoa. Did we not have a node here? Well, I'll have to have a node. Let's add a node. There's a lot of overlapping things. Come on, you're going to do a node there. Yes, there we go. So with those two nodes in mind, I'm going to hit there, and then what we'll do is we'll drop them down a little bit more. Let's just... I can't actually get a feel for how... But I get the feeling that that's not quite where we need it to be. Yeah, that's more what we need. So that's the 6 wasn't quite right. This is better. Ooh, but over here we've got a bit of a problem. So now let's how do I... If I just want this one to come up a little bit. No, this is a bit steep, to be honest. That's still very, very... No idea how high that actually is, but I think that's about right. We can't do much lower, much higher than that. And I think that looks fairly natural now. So that's our connection between the two. And obviously at some point we're going to do some pretty major infrastructure works over here to get all of this stuff to work. Now let's close out all of this and let's start planning out what we're going to do in this area. So now we've got some direct connectivity to the university over there. That's going to take off some pressure off of this road. We'll have to expand these roads a little further at some point. These intersections are really close together. And so we may have to start doing one-ways and all that kind of thing in the future. But for the time being, I think it's okay. Now, let's lay out what we're going to lay out here. Firstly, we need some water. So let's do that. And we may as well turn snapping back on, so that we can get fairly straight lines. We do something like that. That is a pretty good through connection through there, and we'll just run it straight up there. That's good. We'll do that connection through there, and we'll run, yeah, this one up there. That way it's okay. I know these utilities generally tend to follow the roads, but this is it's not quite that efficient for us. Yeah, realistically, they do follow the roads. Okay, there we go. So we've got that going on. Now, we need commercial. I think the first thing I want to do is get some high-density commercial over here. What I'll do is I will, not there, I'll move it like something like that. And what we'll do is we'll try and do openings in between, so that we can fill in later, but also so that we can kind of make plazas and things like that work in this area also. So let's actually, this one probably wants to go in there, and that's okay. What we can do is we can do a little something like that and see how that goes. We can do a plaza over here. We can actually do a plaza that runs all the way through, to be honest. There we go. Going to do a little bit of this so that we don't just fill up blocks at a time. Typically, what we will tend to see is that these guys are going to fill in slightly different ways. So if we do a little something like that, there is a fair bit to go on over there. Now, what we also want to do is provide higher density residential. And you may want to run this thing straight through here. So let's fill higher density residential in on this side. Again, with a little gap in between is not bad. So do a little something like that. At the very least, what we can do is we can now fill in some other bits and pieces. Too mixed is not going to be that great. So let's separate them out a little bit over here for the time being. Let's do that. Let's do that. Could we do a 5x4? I'm not too sure if we do 5x4. Oh, we've got an academic year report. Let's have a look. No academic works. We had 268 students. So this is our first report, actually. Campus attractiveness not bad. We're still unrecognized. We've had 2 toga parties, and that's about it. So the Frontier Hydro Institute is not doing amazing, spectacular work just yet, but it's I think slowly getting there. Now, one of the things we can do is we can start looking at maybe a city park somewhere over here, just to make sure, because this will be a little bit of an inner city kind of style area. So let's do a city park. Just a small one, to be honest. So what we'll need to do is get ourselves a park main gate, probably right there. Chestnut Park for the time being. What is this? This is a small park main gate. This is a park side gate. So what I'll do is make sure to get that going. We're going to do 4 of them, but okay, first things first is we need to do the parky thing over here. So let's expand our park area over here, and I think Chestnut Park over there. Going to be a little bit of a central park style thing here in our inner city area. So that's going to be just fine. Now let's head back to this. Let's get some side gates going. Okay, so I definitely want a side gate up here. That's going to be okay right there. In that location will work, and in this location will work. Because what actually, no, that's fine. It doesn't really matter, because I'm not going to put anything else in there. So that's fine. Now, this is a pretty tiny park, so all we do is connect all of these together. Excuse me. We'll do up to there, and then I'm going to just kind of twist it to tie that in. There we go. And that's our park right there. Very minor little park here. We can do a couple of pieces in the park. Anything else we want to add in there? Come on. I think I've done. We can add some of this. Maybe one of these child play areas. I think that's going to be pretty good. We do a child play area right over there, and what we may do is we might add like a little. Nah, not a gazebo. I think that's going to be just fine. We'll give it a bit of a fence, to be honest, and that's going to be our park in this area. We might come back and do the fence a little bit later. Now, with that in mind, we can certainly go and add some more of this high density over here. We're going to need things like schools and the likes, so let's get a little bit more of this going on. There we go, that's good. Might do that section through there and this section through here. Yeah, so what I'll do is I will, now that that's in place, we'll kind of fill this one in. We'll see whether we do something a little bit better through here. So we don't want it too busy, to be honest. It shouldn't be like crazy busy. Crazy dense is actually the word. Crazy dense, the real world crazy dense term. Okay, there we go. That's the starting point for it, guys. That is going to be the starting point for it. Now, what we can do with all of this is we can actually run better paths through here. And I think that's what I'm intending on doing. I'm going to try and run it pretty straight. That's not really what I had in mind, is it? Let's try it. If we start it on this side, is it? Come on. In the middle there. There we go. No, stop it. There we go. Perfect. Up to there. And then what we'll do is the same thing on this side. And see there, you can see I don't quite want to, but now that we can tie them in together like that, it's going to be pretty good. So now you can actually run all the way straight through there. Probably don't need something to run through here, but we may as well in the future. Now, do we want to do other things through here? Yeah, we may have just run it through there. I'm comfortable that what we'll do. Actually, I think it's time for us to start working on some office space. So let's do a couple of offices. Now that we've got a university, office space starts to become a thing. So if we do commercial and office space like this, hopefully that's going to start giving us, though we don't have any industrial demand. So some office space in here isn't going to be the end of the world. What I might also do is we might run, well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what we do with this. But I do like that. So that's this kind of starting point. Now we want to get our high density going on. Now, in order to support high density, of course, we need things like police stations. So let's grab a police headquarters building. That's not bad. In this location here. This road here is probably going to get pretty busy. That one runs straight through that way. I don't mind running it right over here. That's a pretty good spot right there. We'll also want to do a bit of a hospital. I don't have any hospitals that's going to work. Ooh. That's almost a city block size there. Can we? Ooh, that one goes across. Wow. Absolutely what we're going to do. Absolutely. There we go. Now I've got a hospital as well. An awesome hospital. Nice. Look at that. That is like perfectly squeezed in there. Perfect. I love it. I love it. Now, let's see fire department also. As higher densities arrive, fire departments are required. And what we'll do is we'll just do the other side of this one. And there we go. So now we've got a fire department, a police station, and a hospital all up over here. What we also need to do is make sure that we maintain schooling. So schooling is another big important thing for in a city area. Now, here, we're probably going to want to do something that's a little higher density, that looks and feels a little higher density. So this is a community school. This is like elementary school variety. And this one is a technology institute. That's a university. That is high density. That's okay. So we could use that school. What is this? We could also use this one. This is also a specialized creative arts school. So yeah, maybe that's what we'll do. Do we do... Okay, so what we're showing on that side, though, we don't have any further residential, but we could residential this up on this side. So let's get some schools out on this side. There we go. That's one. And this will be the Institute of Creative Arts, which will go the other one. There we go. So now I've got some schools in here also. There we go. So now we've got some nice community facilities on these blocks over here. Police, fire departments, and an awesome hospital. Do like that hospital across there. And what we can go ahead and do is fill in some more of this. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to actually start doing the corners as well. And I would want to... I'm wondering if I should use node controller on some of these. Okay, so what I'll do is let's do this. We'll leave it a little gap in there. It's going to work quite nicely. We don't want them right up against one another, but this little section through here could work quite nicely. These ones are not going to give us the kind of density style that we're after. I might not use that corner, but let's start doing it over here and over there. And we can probably squeeze one in this location here. That's not bad. That's not bad. We'll close that one out and we'll see what we do with the rest. But that's starting to grow quite nicely. We've got some commercial in here, not massive commercial. And we can start seeing, look at that. We start generating a little bit of traffic in this area over here. Now, what I also had in mind is maybe with this bus corridor over here, we could make better use of this area. So again, what I'll do is maybe this is going to be a bit of a commercial run. Yeah, so let's do a little something like that. Like this. Just like to do the 4 wides. Did we actually end up doing the 5? No, see, that's split into 2. So really the 4x4 is what you're after. Doing the 5, it's probably not the end of the world to do it that way, but this will give us a little bit of room between buildings, which I think is a better outcome. And ultimately, it will look, I think, appropriate. Look at this. Look at this this maneuver. I wonder what's going on over here. Something's funny with the pathing. In this general area, because of the hospital, what we'll do is let's just make sure that this is commercial also. It's not a lot in terms of the commercial that we're going to do here, but that a few little bits and pieces like that will work quite nicely. Now we can fill in a few more residential components. Good, and I need to finish off the park. The park over there is going to look pretty nice. So there we go. A nice little inner city starting point for a little inner city area. We'll definitely see a lot of traffic in some of these locations. Yeah, that was definitely a pathing thing. But I would like to duplicate this at some point. And what it does, it naturally leans itself towards doing some revitalization projects or something over here. We don't have all the tons of traffic associated with some of this higher densities just yet, but we'll probably see that in not too distant future. We're still at a very low population, to be honest. Still at a very low population. Guys, if you've enjoyed this episode, please hit that like button. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.